Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Bear County Court at Law number 6 on the Bear County Veterans Treatment Court. I'm Judge Wayne Christian. Today we have one plea and one motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. It is approximately 9:30 on Friday, the 2nd of December, 2022. Representing the state in all matters will be Mr. Johnson Heinrich. Representing the Bear County CSCD will be Ms. Susan Gross, who I will swear at this time. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you are about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you. I've got cause 4-72597, State of Texas versus Robert Gilman with Mr. Joseph Stateson, which is a motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. And I have cause number 696076, State of Texas versus Christopher Gary, represented by Ms. Areli Silver, and that is a plea. And Mr. Stateson, I understand you're ready to proceed. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, the first document I have in this case is entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference. Reportedly signed both by Mr. Gilman and Mr. Stateson. If I'm not particularly talking to you, off the background noise. I don't know where it's coming from. Thanks. In fact, Mr. Gilman, is this your signature on this document, sir?
You're muted, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. We got you. Is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Stateson, as attorney for Mr. Gilman, is this also your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. The next document I have is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is currently marked incorrectly. It should be marked is an adjudication of guilt following a deferred adjudication, and the defendant has a limited right of appeal. So, Pat, administratively, would you ensure that that gets corrected on the actual copy?
Yes, Your Honor, I will ensure that I get this done.
And in fact, Mr. Gilman, is this your signature on this document also, sir?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. Stateson, as attorney for Mr. Gilman, is this also your signature on this document?
It is, Your Honor.
Mr. Stateson, my understanding is that this is going to be an uncontested first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Gilman, in cause 4-72597 on the first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision, how do you plead, sir?
True.
With explanation.
Court accepts the plea of true with an explanation. Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Mr. Gilman's probation, please?
Yes, Your Honor. First of all, this case did expire back on November 4th of 2016. The defendant was reporting from out of county to an officer up there in Lubbock, I believe. His reporting was good. He did miss his last month of reporting. He did pay in full. We have no record of any of his 24 hours of community service having been completed. He had 4 positive drug tests for marijuana, and he did complete his stress class. And his officer is recommending revocation.
Okay, let me back up a second. My records reflect that Mr. Gilman was placed on probation on or about November 5th, 2015 for a period of 1 year for the offense of resisting arrest, search, or transportation. And so did he report for 11 months? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. He was reporting to an officer out of county.
Okay.
At the time he was placed on probation, the court allowed him to have his case transferred.
And then prior to the termination of his probation period, we had 1, 2, 3 positives, 4 positives for marijuana. Would that be accurate?
Yes,
And we still have no record of community service. Would that be accurate?
correct.
But he did successfully complete the APSE stress education program,
Yes,
and he did successfully pay in full the amount of money that he owed.
yes,
Now, were the monies paid and this class completed before or after the period of his original probation?
Let me double check on that. It'll take me just a moment. It looks like his stress class, according to the document that I have in the computer, shows that he completed that class on 9/17 of 2016. So it was approximately 6 weeks prior to his expiration. And as far as his monies go, his monies were paid. His last payment in full was made on October 11th of 2016. So approximately 3 weeks prior to expiration.
So basically, this motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision was filed, and then we never saw Mr. Gilman after that. Would that be accurate?
Correct.
I got you. Hey, Mr. Stateson, do you have any information on whether Mr. Gilman performed 24 hours of community service or made any charitable donations during this time frame?
I don't believe he had finished the community service hours. I would have to defer to him.
And Mr. Gilman, did you do any community service hours, sir?
You're
You're
on mute.
muted, sir.
I'm sorry? You got your microphone turned off, sir. I'm sorry. There you go.
I'm sorry. Yeah, what had happened? I don't know. It's been so long ago. I don't remember if I paid for them. I think I paid the hours. I did like 8 hours and then paid for the other ones.
So when you say you paid for them, who did you pay?
It was the Lubbock County, like the juvenile, where I went to go report at.
Okay. What are you doing out? Are you still in Lubbock, Mr. Gilman?
Yes, sir.
What are you doing out there? You going to school? You got a job? You got family?
Yes, sir. I'm a plumber. I'm going to school for night school to be a plumber. I'm a tradesman right now, so I got 2 more years left to become a master.
Judge, if I could say a few things.
You got any children, sir?
No, sir.
Okay.
But I take care of my mother, though.
Okay. Have you ever been arrested on any other crimes, Mr. Gilman?
A long time ago, boss.
What? How long ago and what were they, boss?
It was before I got in this stuff, man. I can't remember all of them. I mean, I didn't get a lot of them were tickets, boss. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not worried about tickets. You rob any banks, you shoot anybody, that kind of stuff.
No, sir.
All right, thanks.
He has no other arrests here in Bear County, Your Honor.
And I've got 1 day of jail credit. Joseph, do you agree?
Yes, 1 day jail.
And Mr. Stateson, what are you requesting?
We're requesting for this to be, if it's going to be revoked, we would just request 1 day time served based on substantial compliance. He didn't pick up any new offenses. And for this to have gone for about 5-6 years shows that he was almost a perfect citizen, not breaking any laws. The warrant eventually caught up with him, but he wasn't aware of this. He thought that he finished this in Lubbock and that he had paid everything, did every class. He just owed the community service and the marijuana. He does admit to using the marijuana, but we're asking just 1 day time served.
And state recommendation?
State's recommending revocation, Judge, that the defendant be adjudicated guilty of the offense listed, that he be sentenced to 1 day in the Bear County Jail. If it pleases the court, judgment satisfied.
Mr. Gilman, in clause 472597, the court accepts your plea of true with an explanation on your first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. I grant the state's motion to revoke your deferred adjudication probation. I adjudicate you guilty of the offense of resisting arrest, search, or transportation. I sentence you to 3 days in the Bear County Jail. That's a $500 fine plus court cost, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent, judgment satisfied. Anything further from the state or the defense on Mr. Gilman?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing from defense.
Thank your lawyer, Mr. Gilman. You win. Good luck, sir.
Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
You bet.
Have a good one, Mr. Staten.
You too.
And Pat, where are we on the plea issue?
The attorney is back, and as well as the defendant, Your Honor, they may be ready.
State's
Ms.
ready
Silver,
for it.
can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes,
There
Your
you
Honor. Good morning.
Are you ready to proceed on your plea?
Yes, sir.
All righty.
Mr. Gary, you need to turn on the video. We need to see you. Thank you. We need to
Sorry.
see you. That's okay.
You're good, sir. You're good. This is cause number 472597, Theta, Texas versus Robert Gilman. I'm sorry. Let's try again. Wrong file. Where's my other file? Aha. How about cause 696076, Theta, Texas versus Christopher A. Gary, represented by Mr. Relly Silver. The first document I have on this case is entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference, which purports to have signatures of both Mr. Gary and Ms. Silver. In fact, Mr. Gary, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And Ms. Silver, as attorney for Mr. Gary, is this also your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Gary, the next document I have is entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions, that purports to have your signature on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, sir, is this your signature on this document also?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. By signing this document, are you telling me that you had enough time to either read this document or have it read to you in its entirety? If you had any questions about what was on this document,
Yes,
those
sir.
questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorney, Ms. Silver, so that in signing this document, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on this document. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Silver, as attorney for Mr. Gary, have you had enough time to go over this case with him? And in your opinion, is he mentally competent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gary, you a United States citizen, sir?
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Silver, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gary, in cause 696076 to the charge of evading arrest or detention, how do you plead, sir?
I think it's no contest, right? That's what I'm supposed to say.
That'd be fine. Court accepts the plea of no contest to the offense of evading arrest or detention. Is there an agreement for Mr. Gary?
There is, Your Honor. It is a $1,000 fine plus court costs. 1 year in the Bexar County Jail, probated over a term of 18 months. An APSE course, the cognitive thinking course, a firearms safety course. Defendant is to forfeit the firearm. Please, the court, we'd like to take into consideration cause number 692034 and cause number 692035, Judge.
And what kind of cases are those?
The first one, 692034, is unlawful carry of a firearm, and 035 is wrongful or fictitious, basically displaying a wrongful fictitious vehicle registration, Judge.
Got it. And defense, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
I thought it was 18 months deferred, not county jail.
Is it 18 months deferred, or is it a found guilty 1 year in the Bexar County Jail probated for 18 months? What did y'all agree to?
It's 1 year probated over 18 months, Judge.
Defense, you want to go in a breakout room and chat with your client, make sure y'all understand whatever the plea bargain was? That apparently there's some confusion going on.
Yes, Your Honor. Very briefly.
Sure, take your time.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Counselor. Thank you, court.